Hey, Tim Sykes here. It's been a crazy day. I'm actually at the airport in Australia as I'm filming this. I'm heading to Bali because I have several of my charity schools opening up there in the next few days. I'm actually bringing one of my top students, Tim Gritani, actually my top student, who will likely surpass me in profits while on this trip in Indonesia. So forgive the background noise. I'm doing this on the go. I'm traveling, I'm trading. I wrote this blog post over the weekend about Bitcoin's amazing performance and really just kind of mocking everybody who hates Bitcoin. I get a lot of hate where they're like, how dare you talk about this? It's so inflated. It's such a bubble. Listen, shut the fuck up and pay attention to the trend. The trend is higher. When I made this video lesson just a few days ago, Bitcoin was in like 3,900. Right now it's at 4,400. Okay, so it keeps going. Respect the trend. Don't hate on it. Maybe it is a bubble. Maybe it'll be worthless eventually. Maybe it'll go to 50,000. I don't care. I'm not trading this to try to predict what's going to happen a year from now or 5 years from now. I'm just trading the breakout. Okay, and as I posted on my Facebook fan page, just a little bit ago, here's BITCF. This thing has gone up 7 or 8 times in the last 5 days, okay? And I know many people, they're like, how dare you buy this? How dare you trade these kinds of stocks? It's so irresponsible. Shut the fuck up and pay attention to the trend. It really pisses me off because I hate seeing wasted money. The good news is some of you guys are doing well. Here's Pat Golden. He's been holding for 3 days. And I was like, just be sure to sell and lock in profits because this kind of price action does not last, okay? So you can enjoy it, but be sure to take profits. And I usually take profits too quickly, which is not the end of the world. Here was my trade. I made nearly 3,000 on MGTI. This was the one that I bought in the 130s and I sold it in the 160s. It's actually in the 190s. So it's a 50% winner in a day. I did the whole video lesson over the weekend. You guys know I've been watching it for a very long time for this potential breakout above 140, and we got it. So I nailed it. I sold too soon. I don't mind. I made nearly 3 grand. Selling too soon is really not as bad as you think. Too many of you guys refuse to sell. You get married to these stocks and you hold it forever. That's why it is kind of irresponsible if you trade or invest that way. Here's my student Roland. He turned 4,000 into 170,000. On Friday, he made 9,000 plus. I don't know what he made today on Monday, but I think he made some pretty good money because he was long MGTI also. But he's taking profits. BTSC was another play. All of these Bitcoin plays are the plays that I'm watching every single day. Okay? When you have this kind of a hot sector, I don't care about anything else. Here, BTSC has nearly tripled in 3 days. BTCS is another one. This one has gone from roughly 8 cents to 56 cents. So here's another 7 times your money. SING is another one. This one in 3 days has gone from 4 to 12. So triple your money basically. Are you understanding the point yet? If you're understanding the point, leave a comment underneath this video that says, I understand. I want 2 words out of you because I hate seeing wasted money. And Bitcoin is just the latest hot sector. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, if it's marijuana, if it's oil, if it's gold, if it's biotech, if it's billionaire plays, if it's earnings winners, if it's low floats, if it's shipping stocks, if it's police stocks. We've seen so many trends in the past few years in this bull market. You just need to latch onto them. And usually if you latch onto them for a few days, you can do really well. I mean, look at this. I mean, I'm on the other side of the world trading literally around midnight. And I spotted this one on MGTI, and this was actually the worst performer of all of them. The others are up like 2, 3, 700%. This one is only up 50%. So if I can make this kind of money with so little effort because I simply recognize the trend, even when I'm trading very little, sleeping very little, out of my mind here in Australia, working on my TED Talk. And by the way, I'll have my TED Talk pictures and videos posted soon. So far, this is the only picture. Someone in the audience took it of my TED Talk. I was referencing Back to the Future and the good doctor, the crazy mad scientist, because that's kind of what I am. The whole analogy and the whole point of this one slide that I was talking about was that you have to be a scientist in the stock market. You really have to test optimize, 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 refine, refine, refine. And for me, I just try to go from hot sector to hot sector. If I make 3 grand, if I make 5 grand, if I make 100 grand, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm trading with a small amount. If I was trading, with my full potential, and I'm trading with a 10, 15, $20 million account, then I would say it matters. But I trade with a small account in order to teach you. And now I've made roughly $150,000 this year, just 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 at a time. And guess what? It adds up. So props to people like Pat Golden, who's been riding it. Please just be sure to freaking take profits. BITCF will actually be a very juicy short for me later this week. This thing is going to get back down to the ones. Either this week or next. I want it to go up as high as possible, but usually this kind of a chart does not last. The good news that I bring up these kinds of charts and these gains, it's not just me with the 3,000. It's not just Roland with the 9,000 on Friday. Mark Crook, who's one of my students, closing in on 800,000 in profits. He verified several of his trades on BTSC, and he made 11,000 on Friday. It's not just people with big accounts. Peter, you get a follow because look at this. He bought 10,000 shares at 34 cents. So this is a $3,450 investment, and he sold it at 39.5 and the rest at 46. So probably sold at an average of like 42. He made like 800 bucks on a $3,000 investment in a day. Okay? Just think about that for a second. I wish more people would realize that. Here's Chris Andrade. He was buying SING, bought it at 6 cents, nearly sold it at 11. Just 2,800 shares. Let's do the math here. I'm not good at math. 2,800, and what did he do it? Times 0.0618. So he put in $173, which is fine. We all start somewhere. But he nearly made, let's see, he sold it at 0.1095. So 2,800 times 0.1095. 306. So he came in with a few $100s and he made, 150 bucks more. That's pretty freaking awesome. Don't knock people with small accounts. Some of you guys, I see it where you're like, oh, this is so bad. You're working so hard and studying hard for little. We all start somewhere, okay? And in case you forget, let me just show you this for a second. Let's see, Timley / Tim's Trades or TG Trades. I'm trying to think of all the little bit.ly links that I have here. No. Timley / Tim's Trades. I think this is Tim Grattani. Yes, it is. So Tim Grattani. No, it's not. Damn it. These are my trades. What was the thing? I thought it was TG Trades. Oh, well. I'll change the username. His name is Croy Runner. This is my top student, Tim Grattani. He's at 4.655 million. I'm at 4.675, but he's trading with a big account, so he'll actually probably, surpass me. But the reason why I bring this up is he's at 4.655 million. He had $1,500 to his name roughly 6 years ago. Okay? So to anybody who rips on you guys, if you're starting with a small account or you're making small gains, this is what can add up over time. And actually during my TED Talk, I talked about one of Tim Grattani's big losses right here. This was a $300,000 loss where he had to learn the hard way to cut losses quickly and not necessarily be so aggressive. But he learned it, and now he just keeps going. So he's on the right path. So Christopher, props to you and your $100, $150 profit. We all start somewhere. Don't ever let anybody rip on you. Here's Igor. You get a follow. Made 57% on SING. He says he's taking singles. And Igor, I got to tell you, 57% is not a single. That's a home run. And it's awesome, but you have to keep things in perspective. Devron made 570. Zamina made 460. EJ made 1,000. And Bobby here made a few $100s a few times too. So I just want to show you example after example because this is the beauty of niche strategies. You can literally grow your account 100, 200, 300%. And speaking of niche strategies, I have to bring up the fact that my friend James is giving this webinar in about 14 hours from the time that I post this. A total free webinar. He has these kinds of crazy niche strategies where he can make 1,000%. And most people think like this is like crazy. Most people think like, oh, this will never happen. It can, okay? He didn't get this hair for no reason. He's got a big brain, and that's why his hair like this, because his brain overwhelms his hair and he can't, think without such a big head to encapsulate his brain. I don't know. All I know is that he's made tens of millions of dollars and he's giving a free webinar tomorrow. I'll post the link just under this, but I want you watching. I want you taking notes because it's these weird little niche strategies that are really going to help you grow your small account. Okay, I know you can hate on Bitcoin all you want. BITCF will likely crash rather shortly, so don't, chase these things. But understand that this is where the money is, especially if you have a few $100s, a few $1,000s. Tim Grittani did not grow his 1,500 into 4.6 million by trading like Facebook or IBM or Google. We're trading these volatile plays and we're taking like the meat of the move, small gains, 10, 20, 30, 40% at a time, and it adds up over time. So this is the strategy, and it blows my mind how many of you guys are not prepared. You're like, how did you know to trade Bitcoin? I'm looking at big percent winners every day. I'm using stocks to trade every day. All I care about are trends, and when I see a sector heating up like Bitcoin, I partake. In my little MGTI, I made like 20, 30%. It's now a 50% winner. I didn't even trade BITCF or BTCS or BTSC or SING. GBTC is another one. This one's a higher priced one. This one got up to the 700s from the 400s. I mean, it's pretty freaking awesome. There's a lot of people who don't want to trade Bitcoin. There's a lot of people who think that if you buy a sketchy stock like BITCF, then you're sketchy or you're doing something illegal. And that's just untrue. I'm so sick and tired of these short sellers' lies, and I'm sick and tired of these big traders ripping on small traders. So I'm going to stand up for longs. I'm going to stand up for small traders because guess what? I was a small trader once upon a time too. I started with just a few $1,000s. And even though I'm still just making a few $1,000s, I'm doing it by choice. I'm trading with a small account because I spend the majority of my time traveling and teaching. If I really wanted to trade big, which I easily could, I've made nearly $1 million in a year before trading a bigger account too. If I wanted to do that, I would not be traveling as much. I would not be making video lessons like this. I would not be giving real-time commentary and doing watch lists because I would be focused on my own trades. I prefer actually making a little and showing you guys. It's not just more fun for me, it's more fulfilling. And I love seeing more and more of you guys making money. And even if you're not making money, let's say at least you're starting to look and you're starting to research and you're witnessing this stuff in real time. Part of the hard part about me teaching is that these kinds of big supernovas don't happen every day. So lots of people get frustrated after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks with no great plays. And they're like, God, this is so frustrating. If you have the patience to wait for these kinds of supernovas, life gets very easy, okay? As I said, I am trading from the opposite side of the world. The stock market that I trade, the US stock market, opens up at nearly midnight here in Australia. So I've been freaking losing my mind trading from like midnight until 6, 7 in the morning, then practicing for my TED Talk, then trying to see a little bit of Australia. There is not really that much time for me to sleep. And if I just nailed a nearly 50% winner trading from this kind of crazy location, you can do it from anywhere. Too many of you are like, oh, I have school, I have work, I have kids, I have pets, I have family. Every excuse in the books. But if you learn to focus on these ideal charts, life and trading gets very easy. You just need the patience and you need to study. That will help you understand. And it's not just Bitcoin. I mean, NSRPF, which has been on my watch list for a while too, is spiking. Maybe not quite as much, but it's a nice 50% return in a few days. So the market is so freaking hot right now. Let me show you another chart. And you just need to study. And too many of you guys are unprepared. You're not really seeing the patterns. You're not taking advantage. And that pisses me off. So please study the past video lessons. Studying the past is key to your future. And also go watch my buddy James's free webinar tomorrow. He will show you his weird little big head, big hair niche strategies where you can make 1,000%. He's saying 1,000% returns by the end of 2017. If you play these kinds of stocks, you don't even need to wait that long. So the key is just understanding where the money is. And right now the money is in Bitcoin, although this likely will crash soon, so I would not chase it here. This is actually a potential short for me. But at the same time, take advantage of it. Enjoy it. These are the kinds of plays that grow small accounts very, very fast within a few hours or days. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow.